everybody, and welcome back to episode number 2 of the Eternal Realms series. Today we're working on a little farm out in the country, not too far away from our traveler's campsite, actually. And I'm really excited to get to show you guys around this build, but first I do have a few quick notes. First of all, the footage you're viewing right now was actually filmed about 2 weeks ago, right before autumn kicked in. So if you're kind of confused what season it's supposed to be in this build, don't worry, so am I. And then second, I do apologize, but my bird is being very, very loud in the background, as you may have already noticed. And my microphone is just good enough to pick him up, and I am just bad enough at audio editing to not be able to cut him out. So I hope you like the sounds of parakeets. And last but not least, you might notice that there isn't any footage of me building the house or the carriage. The ReplayMod and I got into a little argument, and I'm missing a couple clips. And as frustrating as that is, I did not want to let it hold me back from making this video, so here we are. Alright, so let's actually look at the build. Right now, I am working on my very first ever windmill. And oh my gosh, this was a process and a half, let me tell you something. The actual structure itself was fine, and I had very little issue with that. Aside from getting WorldEdit to work with me, but honestly that's just a learning curve, so I'm okay with that not being perfect. But as you can see, the arms of the windmill were giving me nothing but problems. I could not figure out which direction they were supposed to be going, and then when I thought I figured it out, I still had one wrong, and it was a lot. And I'm really glad that I decided to build my first windmill in a creative world, because had this been on survival, I don't think I would have made it through, you guys. I really don't. Eventually, I did get it right, so thank you to all of the people who have built Minecraft windmills before, because without you and your inspiration, I definitely would still be working on this, and I think I would have some sort of windmill-related insanity going on. So thank you to the reference images that I used. If I can find them, I will definitely post them in the description below. So with the windmill arms finally complete, I'm just adding a couple more things like windowsills and support beams and some more texture just so that that smooth sandstone wasn't quite so boring looking. It took me a couple tries to get what I wanted out of this, and I'm still not 100% happy, but honestly, for my very first windmill, I'm not upset about it either. Getting the arms to work was probably my biggest accomplishment here, and I will take that as a win. I did add in some details as well off camera, so when we do our walkthrough, I will make sure to point those out. Also adding in just a little path that goes past the windmill and over to the wheat field from the farmhouse. That way everybody can get where they need to go pretty quickly and easily. Alright, and now onto the barn, the very last bit of this build. Things were looking just a little too empty between the house and the windmill, so I wanted to give the farmers something a little extra. And I know they have their hands full with an entire wheat field and a windmill to run, but it felt like they needed some animals as well, just to liven the place up a bit. So I added some sheep and pigs and cows, and then it also dawned on me that they probably need a spot for their horse to stay, so a barn was definitely a good idea. I tried to make sure that it was super cozy for the animals, giving them water inside and out, and then some hay inside as well so that it would be protected from any weather that might come along. And I think it turned out pretty good. Honestly, it was a really simple build. So I will let you guys enjoy the rest of the time lapse, and I will see you in the walkthrough. Hello everybody! Welcome to my little walkthrough. Nice to see you again. I figured we could start over at the farmhouse, since that is the part of the build that you didn't really get to see anything of. So I figured it'd be nice to start there and then just kind of work our way out. Alright, let's get started, shall we? Alright, here is the house. It's a little too big for what I was planning, so a farmhouse it is. Off to the side we have a nice bit of firewood for them for the winter when it comes along. We have a wagon, since they're going to need a way to get all of their wares into town, which I do plan on building soon, so I'm super excited about that. For now, it's just loaded up with some hay, some barrels, and a little chest. And then around the front, we have a spot for them to sit and for the horse to pull it along as well. Over here, we have a custom tree. Super happy with how this came out, and I really kind of wish you guys had been able to see me build it, but alas, things did not go to plan. They also have a nice swing so that when they have all their chores done, they can have some fun since, you know, it's a farm. They gotta do something for fun. In here, we have a little coat rack, and up here we have the living area. Nothing super fancy, pretty basic honestly, just some bookshelves, some seating, and a basic little kitchen. So if we head upstairs, kind of cramped, we can go upstairs and see their bedroom. Tiny desk for any work they might need to get done, a chest, some decoration, and some more bookshelves. Since they're kind of out of the way, they're not close to town, they gotta entertain themselves. So I figured bookshelves are a good way to do that. And then over here, we have the barn. I did add a little wheelbarrow for them so they could bring any grain or hay or anything else they might need into the barn pretty easily. And then if we come in here, this is the barn. So that's where the animals live. And then there is a tiny loft space just up here for more hay and whatever else they might need to store as well. If you come over here, I gave them 2 little watering holes just to be safe, since there are quite a few animals in here. I didn't want anybody to get dehydrated, or in case somebody decided to use one as a bath. And a sliding door that we can close, in theory, at night to keep them safe and warm and protect them from any pillagers that might want to steal our little critters. Alright, and then over to the infamous windmill. So I did add some more detail, like I said I would. There is some ivy growing up the side, as well as another custom tree, which, in hindsight, I loved building, and I think it's super pretty, but it did make getting a thumbnail screenshot really, really difficult. So if we go into the windmill, it's really mostly just storage. There's another layer up there for any maintenance they might need to get done, completely empty. But just in case they need to do maintenance on that part of the windmill, they have a way to get up, and then a way to store all of the grain that they should be getting from that ginormous wheat farm over there. And speaking of which, this is the wheat farm. It took forever, but it is really aesthetic, and I'm super pleased with how it came out. I wanted it to be a little bit more organic shaped. I didn't want rigid fields, like lines everywhere, so I think this came out really nice. And then just over here we have a very important building, not because of its function, but because of the fact that it is my very first diagonal building. Woo! It's just a tiny shed, has a wheelbarrow and some storage space so that they can put their hoe or their shovel or whatever they need over here and not have to walk all the way back over there to get to it. Alright, and I think that is everything. Thank you guys so much for watching my build. It really means so much to me. And if you liked my video, I would love it if you would leave a like or a subscribe down below. I'm not picky, either one. And until next time, have a wonderful day, and I will see you around. Bye!